How are you all doing today? I am Isaac Travis and you are watching IT Creations. Today we are going to be moving my 20-foot shipping container. We are going to be pulling it down and putting it on its foundation. I got my truck here. I'm going to show you kind of what I got going on with that. The last time I moved a container, I used my backhoe to move the 40-foot shipping container all the way down to its foundation. Today we are going to be trying my truck. I think it might be a little quicker, and the backhoe is broken right now, so I don't have the time to go and fix the backhoe. So we're going to try to use my truck, and I got some ideas to pull the container back on its foundation, and I'll show you that as well. This is my truck that we are going to be pulling the container with. I got a big tank of water in the bed of my truck to just give me some weight on that back axle so my tires won't be spinning out. Hopefully not as bad with that weight back there. That truck is definitely capable of pulling this little container. Right here I was just trying something out. I got one of these old Jeep jacks. This is kind of what I'm thinking of using to pull the container back on its foundation when I get it down in that area. So I have it chained up right here, and that is what I'm trying to see if it will move it. And then we are just going to start pulling this container down my road right here and all the way down to its foundation. And you can see the other container back there in the woods, and this container is going to be put all the way down there by that one. So let's see if this jack will move this container. Okay, so this jack will definitely move the container. I moved it probably about 10 inches over here, but I pulled my truck probably a good foot. So when I get it on a hook to a tree or something, it will definitely move this container. Okay, we got kind of stuck right here. The dirt started mounding up right here on the container, and I'm losing my traction in this little divot right here. So I hooked another chain on, and I'm gonna get the truck up there on the other side of this little hole, and we're just gonna pull this thing as fast as we can all the way down the road, so we hopefully won't get stuck again. So I'm gonna hop in the truck and let's get it to it.
One more big pull and you got it.
I think so. Look at that smoke. Is that tire spinning on that side?
No.
Well, we got it pulled down this far. As you see, it's smoothing my road out real nice. Took the top right off it. And right here, she's kind of sliding off of the road a tiny bit. So I'm gonna have to go get the backhoe. I'll just have to fix it, and then we will be back to finish pulling this container all the way down the road. As you see over here, we just got a decent mound of dirt right there, and my tires are just spinning out, and I'm doing a pretty good little burnout, but besides that, it is not going anywhere. As you see, I got quite a ways to go. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to go down there, turn my truck around, and see if I can fit my truck up through this little passage right here and get my truck out of here, so then I can get the backhoe down in here. To make it a little bit easier to pull, I'm gonna jack it up, and I'm going to put both of these pieces of telephone pole underneath the shipping container. The last container I moved, I used chunks of tree, and the tree just busted into a bunch of pieces and it wouldn't roll on it at all. I think this telephone pole will be a lot stronger, and it should be able to hold the shipping container. So I'm gonna take my old jack, put under there, and start jacking this thing up, and then we will try it and see if she'll pull. I got it all jacked up, and I got both my telephone poles underneath it, and I got it chained to my truck so it wouldn't slide as I was jacking it up. And I ended up using this old car jack right here. It was the only thing I could get to lift it. That jack was kind of junk. It wouldn't pick it up. So that jack right there ended up working quite well. Ended up getting it up in the air so I can get those poles under there. Let's lower this thing down. Just like that. There we go. We'll put these in the bed of the truck, and we'll see how she pulls. Hopefully it will be able to just roll on those telephone poles, and we'll be able to get it where we need it. So let's get to it.
pretty obvious we got stuck on a tree, but at least now we can get the trucks throughout here. We can drive beside it now. There's plenty of room right here on my road, so I can get the backhoe down in here and pull it over with the backhoe. Didn't really notice too much of a difference having those logs underneath there for it to slide on, but it did just slide right off the road, so it is what it is. We will unhook the truck and get the backhoe down here, and I might have to cut down that one tree there to get the container out of the way, but we'll see what we can do with it. I will go and fix the backhoe. It'll probably take me a day or so, and then I'll be able to bring it down here and do what we need to do. This is my foundation for my 20-foot shipping container. And what we're going to do is we are going to cut down this big tree right here. It is completely dead and it is full of thorns. So I want this tree completely out of my way, and I'm planning on building a deck over there on that side of the tree. So I want it gone. Best to cut it out before I get my container over here. So I already started kind of clearing a path for it. There was a little cedar tree right there, and I got it cut down. As you see, my chainsaw sitting on the stump. I got the log right there. I'll be saving the log, but we're gonna cut this thing down. All these thorns, it's all up in here. Big old mess. I'm gonna set you guys up somewhere, and I'm gonna follow this tree. Okay, so I was cutting down that tree over there by my foundation where I'm going to put my shipping container, and the tree wanted to fall the wrong way, and I got my chainsaw completely stuck. So I tried pushing on the tree and putting some ropes on it and pulling it. It just was way too stuck. I could not get my chainsaw out. So I had to fix the backhoe. I ended up spending about 3 days fixing this tractor. I had 2 hydraulic lines that blew out, and it ended up costing me over $300 just to fix this backhoe. But I got it running now. All my tires were completely flat. This thing's been sitting here for probably about 2 to 3 months. But let me show you the lines underneath it, what I replaced. And then we are going to go get my chainsaw, and then we're going to go start moving the shipping container with this backhoe. I love this old machine. It just costs a lot of money when this thing breaks down. It is what it is. It's still a lot cheaper than a brand new machine, and it does get the job done. So let me show you what I replaced under there. So these are the lines I replaced. As you see, those are some brand new lines right there, and then I got a brand new line right here, and they just all blew out. So I had to replace all these lines, and now we're not losing fluid anymore. So this thing is going to be running like a champ. So let's start her up. She always starts up so good, even after she's been sitting for a very long time. This is a good old machine. Look at that. Not even any smoke. Oh yeah. Let's get this thing moving. get my chainsaw. Getting ready to go down my road right here. It's always a little bit steep in the backhoe. We made her just fine. Nice. We're going to be coming back to get that thing after I get my chainsaw. Golly. There we go. Right there is my chainsaw. You can see it stuck in that tree. I'm gonna back the hoe up to that tree and push it over. Go down here like this. There we go. Pop her in reverse. Get her over by that tree. Very nice. I love that machine right there. That thing's handy. Barely missed my stinking chainsaw though. Like, that was so stinking close. Like, man, it just about took my chainsaw out. But look at that nasty old tree right there. That's gonna be some work cutting that thing up. But I'll let her kind of rot away for a while, and maybe all those vines there will kind of get brittle and die. These things are, I've shown you before, but they're nasty, nasty. Now I don't have to worry about that thing falling on my shipping container when I get it on its foundation. But now I'm gonna go over there and start pulling my container this way. So that will be really, really nice. And I got my chainsaw. Heck yeah. There we go. Nice. I got the backhoe hooked up to that back corner over there, and I'm gonna pull this container back so I can get it away from this tree. And then I'm gonna bring the backhoe on this side of the container and finish pulling it down the road. So let me hop in the backhoe and drag it back that way a little bit so I can get around this stinking tree right here. almost there. So I have to figure out how to do some maneuvering around these trees to get it over to the foundation. The backhoe is right there sitting where the container is supposed to be sitting. So we are almost there. Just got to figure out how to get it around these trees, and then we'll be able to start getting it set up. Well, even though it doesn't look like it, I got the backhoe stuck. So we're here on this hill, and this machine does not do good on hills at all. So it will tip really easily. So we're here on this hill, and it's sliding down the hill. We got it stuck here in a position where it's wanting to tip, or it's just wanting to slide all the way down the hill. So we're trying to figure out how to get the machine unstuck so we can finish dragging in my container the rest of the way. As you see, we are so close to the foundation, but there's always something has to go wrong and be a major pain in the butt. So now we're gonna try and get the backhoe unstuck so we can finish getting everything done, what we need to. Let me show you the backhoe and kind of what it's doing. So this thing slid down the hill probably about 6 feet, the front end of this machine. It was, like I said, like that front tire was 6 feet over, and now it slid completely that way. We have that stump there holding the machine right now, so it ain't sliding the rest of the way down the hill. My dad's going to go get his truck. We're gonna hook it up to it and see if we can just kind of pull the machine up the hill. And yeah, so this thing is like, it doesn't look like much, but when you're inside the machine and you feel how much this thing is really leaning, it's leaning a lot, and it is like very nerve-wracking when you're sitting in that machine trying to get it to go around this stinking hill. So we're gonna see what we can do. Here comes Dad in the old dually. There we go. Let's hook some chains up to it and see what happens. it looks very nice. I got it put on its foundation, as you see. Really nice. Really nice. And that one over in the back. I'm going to pour another pad here next couple days directly in the middle of it. So there'll be like a support every 10 feet going down the container. So it'll be a lot sturdier. And I know 100% this container is not going to shift or move. And I'm probably going to drop some rebar in the center blocks and fill them up with concrete just to make it a little bit more secure and sturdy. And it will be really nice up here on this little hill. Man, this looks good. It'll be a nice little tiny home here in the future. Nice pretty woods. I'm gonna clean up all that brush sometime, burn it all. But here in the container, we're gonna start cleaning it out, and I'm gonna use this for storage while I build out my 40-foot over there, because I got all my tools in there and it's just too much. I want to get everything out of that 40-foot container so I can frame up all my walls, spray foam it, get the insulation in there, electrical, everything, get it completely finished. And I'll be using this container as storage while I get my 40-foot all built. And when I get my 40-foot built, I'm going to buy another container and build this one out as a tiny home right here on this hill. So really excited, and it is nice and sturdy in here. Like, I can jump around in here and it's like not moving at all. Nice and sturdy, perfectly level. Awesome, I love it. Okay, so that is going to be it for this video. It took a little while getting this container moved. I've been wanting to do this for like several months to get this container moved. That's kind of why my tiny home videos have been kind of backed up, because to finish up the 40-foot, like I said, I need to get all my stuff out of there. So that's what this is gonna do. So we're gonna be able to start cracking down on getting the tiny homes done. I still got all of our other projects we're doing as well. We're just gonna keep going with it, seeing what projects we can do. Dang, bugs out here, golly. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I hope this helps you out. And as always, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We always got something crazy going on this channel, and you do not want to miss it.